Dark Tip for God class right now. Thanks for joining us. And we're currently watching the Apple Live press event, talking about the Apple Watch right now.
Unfortunately, when took the picture, there was a shadow from
Probably have that on in the background while we talk about class today.
but it's still, not much of it is fallen.
It's quite an awesome, distinguished looking group.
Yeah.
That's right. So how's everybody doing? Good.
You get our email?
I did get your email. Yeah.
Weird,
Yeah, I have.
Did you run across that? I didn't know.
Yeah, it might have been.
Spam Facebook.
Yeah, we talked about something very similar to that a couple weeks ago. So it might have been one that you had missed for any number of
Well, the
reasons.
story behind it is we're on with our daughter,
Right.
and she doesn't post a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But whenever she posts, I always read it because, it said something
Yep.
that Barbara liked.
There was a
And
light.
so
Yep.
I opened it and I looked at it, I think, and there was crude language in it. And she doesn't talk about
Right.
it. And I know she would stand out something like that. So it made me suspicious. And then I kept getting more of these. Barbara liked this.
It was mustwatchnow.net or something.
Yep. Yeah. Were some of them videos?
No, they were,
They were still pictures, but well, yeah,
no, I think they were still,
they were, yeah.
I don't remember any video.
But we had these two, and it just seemed weird, so what'd you do?
So I, on that little arrow that's up in the corner.
Yeah.
Not hide it, and so I hit it, and then it says, well, why do you want to hide it? And so it gives you three choices, something about it's annoying and it's not uninteresting or whatever.
Right. Right.
One of the ones I clicked on, and then I said, well, maybe it is spam. Bill said, maybe it is spam, so I clicked on the one that said, I think this is spam.
Yeah.
And it did go away. So,
We took it out of the.
Yeah. Once you mark something as spam or offensive or inappropriate, it'll take it off your timeline because they don't want to offend you.
And then we
well,
went
then I
back.
went to her site, Barbara's
Mhm.
site,
Yeah, her Facebook
and it
page,
should be
her
posted
profile
on her
page.
site,
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I'm not finding it. But there has something lately that's been going around where their videos or their posts by what looks like someone on your friends list, and they want you to click on that and it'll take you to an external link where there's a virus or they steal your
On Facebook.
yeah. And one of the things, I really wish I could find it, but one of the things that it was saying is that there's, besides the fact that you could easily tell that it wasn't from her, there's other ways to tell. Like with the videos, there's a certain number of likes and reshares. Like it's always the exact same number of likes and reshares. And one other way to realize, especially for videos, is videos now in Facebook, you'll see them silently autoplay. Have you noticed that when you're scrolling? Before you even click on it, it starts autoplaying. These videos won't.
Oh, okay.
And so that's another
The
kind
bad
of,
ones or the-
yeah, they won't autoplay. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, I mean, unless you know who's sharing that post, because I mean, people share things from like the Huffington Post or the Wall Street Journal, or
Those are reliable ones.
yeah. So just make sure, like you said, it was some website you'd never heard of before. That'd be another reason not to click on it. But yeah, there's been something, and I wish I could find the link to it, but there has been things going around where, and I don't know how it works personally, but they are posting things. Somehow things are being posted to your timeline, supposedly from someone on your friends list, trying to get you to click on these links.
I wonder if, and we should let her know that it's happened, because maybe other of her friends maybe.
And I don't know. And I have no idea who is compromised in this grader scheme. I don't know if it's the person that supposedly it's being posted from, but it's not actually on their timeline, so it's not really
So how did they?
their post.
Is it their post, or is it?
Yeah, or is it
Coming through us and going back and picking?
Yeah. just picking a name and trying to get you to click on it? So I don't know if it's maybe something on.
We'll watch and see if it shows up again with a different name, or.
Yeah,
And we'll let her know too. So
Yeah.
Maybe she can alert some of her, see if she gets she can put a post out and say, hey, there's a post coming
yeah,
from, delete, or probably the best thing is like Brina did to hide it or,
mm-hmm.
and mark it as spam. And it'll
Yeah.
go away.
Yeah, and at that same time, Hal had sent an email out letting people know that he had not. A bunch of people received an email friend request from Hal, and we were not everyone, obviously, but a lot of people are already friends with him.
Right.
And so I don't know where that came from or what happened if you happened to click on that link to in the email. If you went to your actual Facebook, the friend request was not there. So it was a scam by trying to, because sometimes it's easier. You just click, so-and-so has posted something. I've turned almost all of those off now, but so-and-so has posted something, or you've been tagged in the photo. I've turned pretty much all those off, but some people just click on the link instead of going to Facebook. And it's another one of those things where you really want to go to the source. If you're going to download a program, like I downloaded a program from Apple today, I went to Apple's website and downloaded it from Apple, not through, technews.net, which may be a legitimate site, but I don't know. So downloaded it from Apple's website.
Are we on YouTube?
We are on YouTube.
We ought to say hello to Sandy. Hi, Sandy.
Let's see if she's.
Let's
Let's see if she's there.
Or can you tell she's on?
It currently says there's no one watching,
Well, if she shows up.
but
Have you guys seen the ones on Facebook from Move.com selling square business cards? I get one a day, and it says your friend Cindy Grisdella
That's
likes
a similar type of
Move.com.
thing. You probably should hide it or expand
Yeah,
it or nothing.
and the other one I get is Walmart.com. Barbara
This one
Jacari likes Walmart.com.
This one just
And
showed
Mark-
up. Matter of fact, we just got one on our email list.
Yeah.
.com or WA.
And
I
something on my
deleted it.
Facebook, it's Marty Wickland and Barbara Jacari. I never get anything from either one of those people. I
yeah,
suppose they're friends, and so I just, ignore it.
Yeah, that one showed up and it just didn't look right, and so we just deleted it.
This Move.com, I don't know what that is.
yeah.
I don't know whether I should tell Cindy Grisdella that's happening, because I don't think she can do anything about it.
Yeah. Well, the other thing that you really need to be careful with is if you like certain pages like Walmart.com, even though Walmart's legitimate, when you like them, you click on those OK buttons. Those OK buttons are giving them permission to post things on your timeline, on your behalf, without telling you.
A lot of the quizzes are that.
Yeah, the quizzes do that.
What flower, what bird.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't
What
know that.
Friends character do you most represent?
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah. If you play games on Facebook like Bejeweled or any of those things, or when you play them and you click to their agreement to play the game simply by saying, yes, I agree to play this game, if you pass a level, they'll post to Facebook and all of your friends will see that you passed that level.
That person's not doing that. It does
The
automatically.
app, because you gave that game, that page permission. Basically, you can't use it without permission, but by giving it permission, you're giving it permission to do a whole lot. You're giving it permission to see your friends list. You're giving it permission to post on your behalf, all kinds of stuff. And it's kind of crazy
So
what,
if you just unfollow it.
yeah,
you could
then it
unfollow
removes those rights.
One of your friends.
So one of the, let's see here. I haven't really started using it much, but there's a new social platform that is supposed to be all about your personal rights. Everything is yours. Your photos are yours because Facebook has the right to use your photos because or videos because you've uploaded them to Facebook. They're allowed to use your posts because you've uploaded. I mean, anything you send to Facebook, right on Facebook, Facebook has the right to use that information. And in some cases, share it, which is why you see those ads that are somewhat relevant to you. But the new one is called MeWe, M-E-W-E. And it's all about your content is yours. They're not going to send you advertisements because you,
It's a website.
yeah, MeWe.com.
Looks like Facebook.
Yeah, it's a new social platform like Facebook. I mean, it's almost, in fact, you can actually link your Facebook account to it. So even though you're not using Facebook, you can still see what your Facebook friends are doing.
Really?
Yeah, you can even link, maybe some of you do, but you can even link your Twitter account to it, and it'll show all of your tweets there. But they're trying to move into the next genre of social networking, which is it's your content, your privacy, your rights, not we own everything that you put on.
M-E-W-E.
Yep. And it's weird when you go there because the parent corporation is like Spruggle or something like that. So don't freak out if it goes, let's see. There we go. So let's, MeWe.com. Yeah, by Scrouples, S-G-R-O-U-P-L-E-S. And then there's this little, let's see, I won't be able to bring it up there because we're watching this Apple Watch thing. But when you first go to their website, there's this Take the MeWe challenge.
46 tracking.
Yes, and it lets you know who's tracking you. So let's show this on screen. So here's for those watching us online. So yeah, so there's this challenge, and there's a video, and it shows your privacy bill of rights, and the question is your social media stalking you? So you enter how many social media platforms you're attached to. I think mine was 88 because I also have Twitter and YouTube and all of that stuff.
So if you went in and cleared your cookies,
Yep.
then when you start over again and you have to log back into your Facebook accounts and everything that you cleared out of, they start rebuilding. Is that how? If
Yeah.
cookies, are they cleared?
When you clear your cookies, yeah,
So
they're
if I reset Safari.
Yep.
All these 46 would go away
yes,
in theory.
in theory. But then the minute you go back to that website,
You get them all over.
and the original point of my understanding, the original point of cookies was so that you would load websites faster. You know, all of that basic information, like the layout of Facebook or, whatever website you visit often, the layout and the general stuff that doesn't change is right there and up for you. Anyway, I really haven't done much. I signed up for this MeWe, and I haven't really done a whole lot with it because when I signed up on my iPad, I think, and the features on the iPad are very limited. And their website isn't for if you load Safari on the iPad and log in, it's not very touch friendly at the moment. And so I had a hard time setting up. So I haven't really done much with it or looked into it. But I have linked my Twitter and Facebook accounts to it. So I can click on my, yeah, no, literally it's all it is. Here, I'll bring it up for you real quick. We'll just flip flop real quick here. It's literally just a matter of clicking this little toggle switch, and then it'll ask for your email and password, and now it's linked. And now here's my Facebook timeline on the MeWe website. And then I can go to Twitter, and it'll show.
Do you create new friends on MeWe? versus-
Yeah.
So-
It's completely separate, but it does allow you to integrate those so that you can see what's going on
You
over
can
on
see what's
Facebook.
going on, but they won't see what you do on MeWe unless.
Yep, unless they're on
friend,
MeWe.
but That's the one way to
Yep.
reestablish your friendship. Or
Yeah,
you can
and
limit it to family or whatever.
It's almost you post your status update, you can do photos, videos. Different. It's very similar. Anyway, and you can, just like you can with Facebook, you can create different groups with different levels of privacy of how much you want to share or not share with them. And again, I haven't looked through it a lot, and there's nothing here because I have no other friends, and so it's just got this welcome page letting me know I need to do stuff to be able to actually use this in the manner that it's meant to be used, which is what Facebook was like when you first logged into Facebook. So I just haven't done anything
But
to.
they're not going to do what, Tim?
They're not gonna track your likes. So if your favorite band starts on MeWe and you like them, they're not gonna start advertising that, concerts or anything like that. If you upload or if you share your status, they're not gonna store that and potentially use that later. If you upload pictures and videos, they have no right to, in their privacy policy, they tell you, we will not and cannot use your photos or videos for any of our purposes. Whereas any public picture on Flickr, which is a photo hosting site, if you make your photo public, Flickr has the right to use it in advertising of any kind that they see fit. Which is why all of my pictures of Aubrey on Flickr are all private, because I don't want them using pictures of my daughter on there. So your stuff is your stuff on this website. And people, when they log on to Facebook, it's still on your account. You can click on that stuff, and so majority of people don't realize that Facebook has the right to use all of these things as they see fit. So that's another option for you. And the post that I read about this said their final line was something like, you should switch over to MeWe now. Do you remember MySpace? And her response was, me either. Because MySpace was what preceded Facebook. And it kind of, it might still be there actually, but it's kind of like the dark version of Facebook. It was very early and very, very sketchy and things like that. So anyway, that's where a lot of the that's where stalking happened. People could stalk you and scary stuff. Anyway, so Facebook is just, I don't know, don't necessarily want to say they're getting too big for their britches, but just like anybody, once you get larger.
Internet now, somebody come up with a new thing.
I know, I just got 2 more notices in the mail that 2 other accounts online got breached. One of my websites that I use to order equipment for my fish tank was compromised, and someone else. Anyway, so it's just constantly happening all over the place. So it's good to try to be as.
I have a question about images,
Yeah.
Google's thing,
Yeah.
and all these images come up.
Yep.
Where do those images come from?
So-
Are they from websites? Or how do they get those pictures?
Yeah. So we'll take a look at that. Stop. Let's try this again. All right. So, so you type in fjord, and you click on images, and you get all these images of fjords, right?
Right.
So what Google does, and many different, I mean, Microsoft Bing and Yahoo and all these people, what they do is they send little bots, little programs that just literally their entire job is to scour the internet. Websites. They go and they visit a website and they read all the data on the website, and the data, some of the data they read are images. And so they just pull those links to those images, because when you click on one, source is fjordnorway.com. And so then you can view the image, because on a website, each image has its own personal link. So for Fjord Norway, blah, 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 that's its link. So you can view just the image, or you can visit the website that this is actually from. And it'll take you to the website.
Basically from websites.
Yep. Yep. From websites. And one of the things that they've done recently is if you go up here, there's search tools, and right here is use. Well, you can't. I forgot. I'm not up on there. Let me switch again. There, you can. So you can see usage rights here. It by default is not filtered, which means that some of these could be copyrighted. And so you can filter them. Labeled for reuse with modification, which means that you can actually edit the picture. So reuse means you could use it for yourself, and say you want to put it on your own website and you want to put some title over it. Or you wanted to like superimpose yourself skiing down this fjord. You could do that. That's what means when you can modify it.
Say that on the image.
It doesn't. This is.
So how would you know?
It's so again, they know through reading the source code, it knows whether or not the image is copyrighted or not. I don't know how it knows.
Well, sometimes I might want a picture for PowerPoint,
Right.
and I don't want to be copyrighted.
Right.
Something that's
Copyright infringement. Yeah.
It doesn't always say.
Yep. A safe bet is Wikipedia. All Wikipedia pictures are free for reuse.
Okay.
One of the other ones.
As long as you're not selling it, though. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter. If you're just using it for PowerPoint, sure,
You would
it
know.
doesn't matter.
It shouldn't matter. This is a website I recently found. Pixabay.com. Free high quality images you can use anywhere. And then you just type in search, whatever you're looking for. So
So do you know how to create memes? Take a picture and add your own banner to it?
oh, like a little caption.
Yeah.
I'm sure most people just use Paint. I don't know what the equivalent on a Mac would be. Maybe iPhoto would let you do it, but on a PC, I mean, you just pull up Paint and you pull up a picture.
One of your own.
Yeah, one of your own pictures.
Picture of Aubrey.
Yeah, and then you just
Easter.
add a caption to it. I think that's what most people do. I mean, there might be a website
You
that,
could use, not like Picasa, you can put captions on. Picasa.
Yeah.
By putting, you can have a caption underneath it, but if you want to put it on the picture, then you have to create a text box. But it allows you to do that. And then you can change the font or whatever, and it's actually on the picture itself.
so, or you can go to this website and
Did you just Google that?
Yep.
I use Google all the time. I never.
So Main creator. Yep.
Now, how do you know when you go into one of these sites, that it's safe?
So right here, I have the Norton Safe Search
okay.
installed. And so this little green OK button, and then if I go over it, it gives me this bigger image, shows that this website is safe.
At least at this point in time.
Yeah, yep. And again, it's those same bots that we talked about that pull those images that search these websites for any possible malware or viruses built in, and it gives it a score, basically, or rating. So Norton Safe Search is one.
So when you get a site, you click on a site or something and it says, questionable, or we don't know if this one is safe. Should you open it? There was something I did today and I was searching for something and.
Yeah. Typically.
Or the certificate is out of date or something.
Yeah, certificate. Well, an out-of-date certificate means that they're not using the latest internet protocols.
Okay.
But if sometimes, like for Norton, it'll be a gray question mark is the symbol that it gives you. And oftentimes that simply means that Google hasn't, or whoever you're searching with, Bing, hasn't even visited that website yet. But if it has so gray simply means it hasn't visited, and so it doesn't know. Orange means that there's something that doesn't seem right. I mean, there's potentially something that's not right with it, but it's not outright malicious. Whereas a red website would be, if you visit this website, you're probably going to get a virus on your computer. Don't go there. And there's, I know we've talked about this before, but it's good to always talk about it. I think it's Web of Trust right here. I don't know if Norton Safe Search is free without having Norton, but Web of Trust is. So you can download Web of Trust, and it's an add-on to your browser. It's not like a program you install on your computer. It installs it on your browser, and it'll show you, like, the green circle is good, red W is bad, obviously, and orange T is questionable. So that's ways to safely search the internet. But Google does a good job. I mean, they're not gonna list your very first search result unless you're looking for something potentially illegal, or like I said, I've talked about, if you're searching for places to download movies illegally, most of those websites have viruses or questionable content on there. So it may list them first, but that's because you're already searching for things that probably shouldn't be searching for in the first place.
Have you used any image search capacity where you search for images like this? You know how we did the music thing, where you played a snippet of music, and it tells you what song it's from.
Oh.
Well, there are image searches where they're reverse image searches.
Okay.
Have you used any of those?
I have not.
I had an application for that the other day, but I forgot. Yeah, flower
Did it find an image for you?
Well, it'll find images like that.
I think they have one for, like, birds.
Birds.
You can snap a picture of a bird, and the app will then search its database and try to give you maybe the option or a couple options of what the bird actually is. $10,000. Gotta get your gold Apple Watch. Gotta get your gold Apple Watch. Man.
Your iCars.
Yeah. Pre-orders April 10th. Look at that. Exciting stuff. So yeah, I've not looked for apps like that. I've not had a personal particular need for it, so I haven't tried it.
No, I was in, on my computer, it's a Dell computer, and they have this PeerNet local area connection.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it comes up red, and so I was wondering what it was, so I went into Bing and I was searching, what is PeerNet? And that was one of the sites, when I clicked on it, it said the certificate was
Out of date.
out of date.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, out-of-date certificates could potentially be free, so people use those. It could be that the website hasn't been
Okay.
maintained, like updated in a long time, and so it's just an old website.
So this says that images at google.com. So.
Oh, so you can submit an image
so I
to.
can drag and drop
Nice.
into the Google search bar.
Yeah, Google's really good about being able to, like, you can drag and if you have Gmail, you can drag and drop your Gmail to. You can drag and drop a file or a picture right into your Gmail. If you're composing a new message, you can just drag the file onto the body of the email, and it'll attach it. Instead of clicking the little attach icon and searching for it, you can just drag the little icon of the file you want to send or picture, just drop it on there, and it'll attach it. Yep. Drag and drop is pretty cool stuff. So, got this lovely music going. So, as you can see, Apple's having their event today. Some of the, let's see if we can switch what we're, it's still going on, but we'll take a look at some of the stuff they talked about. So the Apple TV, they didn't actually update the Apple TV, which a lot of people were predicting. Apple TV, do you know what the Apple TV is? It's a little, do you know what Roku? I think we've talked about Roku or the Chromecast, those kinds of things. Yeah, it's a little tiny box, literally about that big, about that thin. You just plug it in with an HDMI cable into your TV, and you can, it's got, Netflix and Hulu and Amazon Instant Video and all of these streaming, YouTube and all of these streaming services. And you just click on it like a little app on your, and it loads it up. They're now lowered the price $30. So they're now $69 for an Apple TV. And HBO Now, so there used to be HBO Go. I think HBO Now is, meaning if, for example, Game of Thrones starts again in April, and I have no idea, but let's say it's on Thursday nights at 10. You can watch it without subscribing to it through your cable provider for a subscription fee straight to HBO. You can watch it Thursday night at 10 through your Apple TV. So you can watch it as it airs. It's not a, HBO Go was a watch after the fact service, but HBO Now is watch it right then and there when it's streaming.
And Apple TV is one box for each TV.
Yes.
And it's a wire from that box to your HDMI port on the TV. That's
Yes.
what makes the TV smart.
Yep. And the cool thing about it is if you have any Apple product that's been out in the last couple of years, you can display anything on it through the Apple TV to your TV.
So it makes
Wireless or?
Bluetooth, wireless,
Okay.
one of the two, or both, depending on if you don't have wireless, then it'll talk to it via Bluetooth. So, you know, Mark could sit, if there was an Apple TV hooked up here, Mark could show his pictures from his latest mushroom harvesting. I don't know. Do you harvest mushrooms?
Remember my little green caterpillar?
Yeah.
So I loaded that, dropped it.
Into
I
that.
put it from Facebook, I put it on my desktop.
Mhm.
So then you go to Google image search
Mhm.
and then you drag it into the search bar on Google image search and it comes up with all the pictures on the internet
I
that
know.
are like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
But there aren't, because that's, somebody took that picture and it's not widely posted or copyrighted, whatever. There aren't any pictures identical, but there are all these other pictures that are similar.
Mhm.
It's kind of cool.
yeah. That was a cool
Nice.
picture.
Yeah.
Mhm. Is that around here?
I don't know.
No,
A lot of those guys
it
are
was,
super tropics, so-
Mexico or Brazil or something, like it had a location.
So, back to the Apple, we're all over the place.
That's all right.
Sorry.
It's all good.
With the Apple, with a smart TV,
Yes.
a Vizio smart TV. I
Yes.
should be able to go from my computer straight to the smart TV, right?
Yeah, but it's kind of limited. Whereas the Apple TV, like this one's a smart TV, and so I could share, like I could, through the TV I could access any shared pictures or videos and things like that. Whereas with an Apple TV, it's basically you're getting rid of this. Apple TV to a Mac will mirror everything, or a iPad will mirror everything you're doing. So like when I hook up my iPad with this little adapter and plug this into here, it's what the Apple TV does without the wires. So I could sit all the way across the room on my couch and flick through pictures, or I could load up a game or something on. I could load up music and click the play button, and it would play and show everything that you see on your iPad up on. But it also has those streaming services, so it's not strictly $69 for a little, you know, mirroring thing, but it also has all those other services that you can use through the
When
box.
we bought our Blu-ray,
Those have them built
they're
into.
built in, yeah, so you don't really need that.
No,
You
no,
know, we've only used, now Netflix occasionally and a couple other things.
Yeah.
And Pandora, we use Pandora a lot.
Yep.
But it has tons of stuff.
yes, it is. Yeah,
Audio or videos.
yep.
Oh, okay.
This is kind of, I mean, so it has a dual function of connecting your Apple device to your TV without wires, and it also does all of those smart features that come in Blu-rays or smart TVs.
Mhm.
So, but they lowered the price $30, and HBO Now, and it's exclusive for the Apple TV. HBO Now isn't available on anything else.
Oh, okay.
That's the big thing. Research Kit. So you heard Health Kit came out, and it tracks your. You can link it with other apps to track your stuff. Research Kit. They announced at the very end after they did their whole presentation that it was open source starting next month. But it's really cool. You can, starting today, you can download these 5 apps, assuming that you have one of these diseases or problems, and you can use the app to kind of track your progress and send your data directly to your doctor. And Apple says that that is strictly between you and whoever you share that data with.
They're not-
Apple will not collect, it doesn't go to Apple's server and then go over to them. It goes straight from your phone to whoever you're connecting with that's with this app. And they connected with the leading universities and medical centers to develop Research Kit and these apps that
This is one of the, they're selling features, isn't it? You know, we're taking your money here, we're gonna give you this. But
Yeah.
it's good, I mean, it's.
but the open source thing means that it's not just for iPhones. Open source means that anyone can now use that,
Research.
yeah, and develop their own apps
Oh, I see.
across platforms. They could do it on the Android or the Windows phone if they developed.
Okay, I see.
So, and those 5 apps are available today. But that's really cool. I mean, the thing they showed was, for the Parkinson's, because it's affects your body, there's like a tapping thing to see how well you can follow in sync and then it sends that research back. Asthma, you can actually basically breathe into phone and it'll sense the
rhythm.
the rhythm of your breathing, and they determine whether that's steady or not, or whether you're really interesting stuff. They came out with a brand new MacBook. So there's the MacBook Pro, which Mark and Bob have. There's the MacBook Air, which is ultra thin and portable. Thanks, Bill. And then there's just the plain old MacBook. Well, I wouldn't really call it plain or old anymore. It's ultra thin. It's like, I think they said it's 24% thinner. The buttons, so, I mean, it is kind of cool, but nothing super exciting, I think, for the average user. But the buttons, they call it a butterfly something, so that when you press down on it, if you press the side of a button, it's actually depressing the whole button, so you're actually pressing the right one and not accidentally sliding over into the other. Better trackpad. It's force sensitive, which means kind of like the new Apple Watch is on the Apple Watch, the harder you press, like if you hold down and press, that's different than just pressing. This new trackpad on the Mac knows those kinds of things, and so it'll work a lot better. They showed that if you press and hold on a word when you're searching in online, it'll bring up, if it has one, it'll bring up a Wikipedia entry. So if you click on the name Martin Luther, it'll pull up Martin Luther's Wikipedia entry right then and there for you, or it'll give you definitions of words and things like that. They say all-day battery life, which means 9 to 10 hours of continuous use. One connector. So I've got all of these different ports I've got 3 different USB ports, my HDMI, my VGA port, my power plug, all of these different plugs. All of that is built into one plug, and that's the only plug on the computer. One plug.
But the plug will fit it has the right connection.
Yep, it's called USB-C right here, USB-C, and it will fit, I don't know how, but it'll fit a VGA monitor, HDMI, your power plug, everything fits. Your USB.
Oh, it's got more than one.
And a display. Nope, just the one. And the whole idea is that everything else, like your mouse, your headphones, everything is connecting via Bluetooth now.
Oh, Bluetooth.
So everything is wireless. Whether wireless means your internet or wireless means you're connecting
But
your.
if you have the power plug in, you can't use anything else.
Right, but that's the whole point of the 10-hour battery life, is that you're not gonna, just like you don't sit around with your Mac plugged in all day. That's basically the idea, is that you're getting an entire computer, only the same battery life like you have on your phone or your tablet. So
it's
solid state drive comes, I think it's $12.99 and $15.99 are the 2 price points at a 12-inch monitor. And I think that's the only size, is just the 12-inch monitor. $12.99, $15.99. $12.99 you get a certain processor and 256 gigs of solid state drive. And for $15.99 you get a faster processor. I think it's like 1.2 to 1.5, and you get a 512 gig solid state drive, which is pretty impressive for that price. Solid state drives are really cheap now.
So what does that do to the MacBook Air? If the MacBook Pro is solid state and
I don't know.
Air is
I mean,
just thinner, smaller.
I think
less capable.
but I don't know what they're going to do with the MacBook Air, because this is now thinner than the MacBook Air, lighter than the Mac. This entire computer weighs 2 pounds. £2 for the entire computer. They shrank the logic board, which means everything, your entire computer, basically, 2/3 from the last edition of it, and they redesigned the batteries. It's multiple batteries, and because batteries are supposed to be square, they redesigned them so that they're different shapes, which has never been done before. And so, because it's beveled at the end, and so if you were to try to fit a square thing, is what they showed in one of the videos. If you try to square something square into something that's curved, doesn't fit right. So they actually curved and beveled, and so they've got layered batteries. And so basically 80%, they didn't give those numbers, but just from the video picture that they showed, about 80% of the computer components inside are batteries.
Yeah.
You've got a tiny little logic board right here surrounded by multiple batteries. So your logic board's right here, batteries all around it to give you that 10-hour.
10% has to be fan.
No, it's fanless.
Oh.
They got because everything there's no moving parts.
Okay, so, but I would think the heat comes from the batteries. I was thinking that, but if
The way they've designed it, there's no overheating. We'll find out. I mean, I think it comes out next month in April. I mean, everything is kind of geared for an April release. And then it comes in the crazy colors like the new iPhones. You can get that champagne gold and the silver and the space gray.
Oh, you're talking green and the new. Her problem is her computer, which is.
It's so nice though.
It's so nice. I wouldn't have to relearn everything.
There's an adjustment, but it's really not relearning. And Apple has an amazing video series on their website it literally says switching from Windows to Mac, and it takes you through training videos of how, if you did this on a PC, this is how you do it on a Mac.
Our problem is she's down to one good USB port.
Yeah.
But the USB ports were out or something.
Yeah.
Like we were trying to connect with the printer yesterday. And
Yep.
It was.
Yep.
Finally, I got the wireless mouse into one that was kind of off and on. I got it in the right position, so we found one that was working.
Yeah. It looks absolutely incredible. It's beautiful. It's just that one port. I'd do a little more research on this whole USB thing before you commit to it, but it looks pretty slick. And the USB-C is going to be a standard not just for Macs but for all computers.
Well, yeah,
so it's not like the Mac exclusive thing, but everyone's going to start using this USB-C.
So that was Lightning, which is going away.
Yeah, the old Lightning. Yeah. And then it's super energy efficient. And it's actually, they claim, which is probably true, is it's the most energy efficient notebook in the entire world. And by far more energy efficient. And then they've done minor updates, as they do every year, to the MacBook Air and the MacBook Pro. The MacBook Air is going to be faster and better battery life, and I think it's got better storage. I think they upgraded the SSD storage capacities to meet with today's standards. And then the MacBook Pro comes with, so it gets faster processors, better storage, better components, next gen processors. But the MacBook Pro also comes out with that new Force Touch trackpad that the new MacBook has, which is that it really responds. And then again, better battery. And then this one, they increase the battery life by another hour.
Is it gonna, should you
Go
wait
ahead.
at all, or when it comes out, that's what it's gonna be? And
Well, yeah, when it comes out, that's what the MacBook Air and the MacBook Pro, the new ones, are available today. The Air and the Pro, the ones that they tweaked, they just updated them. They tweaked them a little. Nothing new to the design, nothing new other than this Force trackpad for the Pro. But the Air and the Pro got minor updates. It's this new MacBook that just
Is there likely to be correction curve in a new MacBook? I mean, they're gonna find bugs that they, even though they've gone through beta and.
Yeah.
and alpha
Well, the
beta, you know.
hardware possibly. Software, no. Software, it's going to be the same Yosemite that I'm running at home. And are you running Yosemite now? Yeah, he's running on his MacBook right there.
So
But I think they've learned a lot of their lessons from the MacBook Air. When the very first version of the MacBook Air, if you you close the lid too hard, like pulling this down,
Quick.
I don't think we lost anything. If you did that like that on a Mac, the very first generation of the MacBook Air, people were reporting cracked screens.
Ooh,
But they've figured all that
there wasn't enough
out.
space or something.
Yeah, I mean, it was brand new. They were competing with the netbook. Do you remember netbooks? They're still kind of around, but netbooks were super small. They were like 8-inch. It was before tablets became popular. They were like 8-inch, 9-inch, 10-inch computers, laptops. And they're competing with that, and they want to make it super thin because some of these netbooks were fat little beasts. And just their first edition of it, just a lot of people are reporting, kind of like a lot of people are reporting the iPhone 6 Plus is bending in their pockets because, so there's certain unknowns. So it may not, you might want to wait a month after. So, it comes out in April, wait till May, see what the reviews are like and what people are saying about it. Because they completely redid the entire thing from the ground up. And so there's always.
So do you know what the difference is
For air.
between the new coming MacBook and the MacBook Pro? Sounds like the new MacBooks.
The MacBooks,
USB-C is gonna be.
yeah, and
Yeah,
I'm sure the MacBook Pro next year will get that kind of makeover, and so will the Air. But they really wanted to.
So probably the difference right now is speed of the chips.
Yeah, and the big difference between the MacBook and the MacBook Pro, the MacBook has a mobile, not mobile like as in a phone, but it has a mobile processor, which is not as powerful as a traditional laptop. Traditional laptops can get near desktop-like processing speeds, whereas the Air and the regular MacBook have mobile processors, which are good. They're really good, but they're just not quite up to par with these big boys, these big laptops that we have. It's just, they never will be because they're bigger parts, so they're going to need more space. But they're light years beyond where the netbooks were with their little mobile processors that seemed like computers from 10 years ago. Yes, it's nice and small, but a month after you have it, it slows down from this brand new computer to, your 15-year-old desktop that you no longer use, but is still in your house. It was wretched. I had one until it got stolen, which was fine because then you got the money for it. Didn't have to buy another.
Please come and steal.
Yes, please steal this. Thank you.
I'll leave my car door open.
So, and then they announced the Apple Watch, and that was going on in the background. I'm sure there's nothing too surprising. I think the big thing I really wanted to know, I knew the prices started at $349. I just didn't know how they broke it down with the different versions and sizes. So I'll find that out later. But that new MacBook looks pretty. Yeah. Let's see if there's Apple's website was not down, as in, is it up now? I tried to look at it, or I tried to go to their website was up. I tried to go to the store earlier, just because Becca does still have her netbook, and it's only like 2 years old because her old one did get stolen, and they did replace it with a newer one, but it just has slowed down so dramatically. It's just kind of ridiculous. But
When you said it slowed down, it physically did slow down from being new?
yeah, I mean,
Is that a weakness then in the system?
It's,
Why
the-
would it slow down?
I mean, as soon as you start,
Or are you loading it up?
you
with
just
lots
load
of
new
stuff?
programs.
Yeah.
You know, you add Dropbox to it, you add Word, and suddenly it just can't handle that
Okay.
stuff. And it's kind of the same way. So, first thing that popped in my mind was a couple months ago, I talked about the new Ultra HD TVs that do 4K. They have 4K TVs, which is what you see in movie theaters now. And they're selling them for like $2,000. Well, they get away by calling them 4K because as a still image, you're getting a 4K resolution. But the minute motion happens on the TV, it's no longer a 4K TV. So these little netbooks, look how great and fast they are when you've not done anything to it. But the second you load Word on it, the second you add Dropbox, the second you install Picasa, it just goes down the drain. I mean, it just can't handle not even doing one task at a time. It becomes molasses. And so that's my opinion of netbooks. So yeah.
Yes, man.
Yep. Actually, the way they were revealing it, I started because I was typing my little notes that you saw. The way they revealed it, I thought they were going into the 2-in-1. You know, have you seen the 2-in-1 Windows computers where it's a tablet and then you attach it to the
Oh,
keyboard? Because they were showing the display and the keyboard separately, and I thought, oh no, they're going into that realm. And so I started typing 2-in-1. And then when they actually got into the presentation, never mentioned it, and the one that they showed was just complete. I thought, oh, okay, it's not. They just wanted to really emphasize and be dramatic about it. Yeah.
There they are.
So gold, silver, space gray. Yeah, let's see if we can. It's full size keyboard. So they're not shrinking the keyboard at all. Really thin bezel to it. That's what there's your single port for the entire computer right there. Let's get that up on the screen real quick. Yeah, it's Retina display, 12-inch. So that's your screen resolution right there. 16:10 aspect ratio. So you'll be able to watch widescreen TV and movies basically in full resolution on the TV. Yeah, fully equipped for a wireless world, so it'll print wirelessly. I mean, most computers do now, but so they're basically saying everything's wireless. Your headphones are going to be wireless. And that is the downside. There is no headphone jacks for it. So if you want to use those, you would have to buy some kind of Bluetooth headset because this single port does not support that. The 5 things it supports is VGA, HDMI, your power plug, a USB plug, and a display. I don't know what the difference between HDMI, VGA, and DisplayPort is. HDMI does sound and video. VGA is just video.
That must be a smaller one than you use in your TV then, the HDMI. Do they have different sizes?
There's
They must have a miniature, 'cause looking at the
there's
size,
HDMI mini.
because it'd be.
And I don't-
The whole computer.
I don't know if, and again, I don't know. I'd have to learn more.
They may have an adapter.
Yeah, I don't know if it's, you plug this USB-C thing in. I don't know.
Be interesting to go to the Apple store and think.
I mean, I envision it like the card readers. I mean, my card reader's right here in the front, and I can stick an SD. Well, I can't stick a compact flash in there, but I can stick several different type of USB readers all in that one reader. I'm imagining it's that, but looking at its shape, I'm wondering how that works. But I mean, I'm sure it does. I'm sure in about an hour you can go to YouTube and you'll see the different tech people that are there at the event filming with their cell phones how people are plugging in the different plugs into it or how that works exactly. So yeah, there's the batteries. They're supposed to be square, and square, but now they've curved them and curved them this way and curved them weight-wise too.
Terminology in general.
Yeah.
Leaps and bounds.
So it looks, it looks pretty amazing. So basically they've got 3 versions of a laptop. You've got the Air, which is super small, super portable, and not, you can buy bigger storage, but basically it's meant to be ultra light, ultra portable, ultra small, meaning even its capacity for what you can store on it is. Then you've got the MacBook, which is now probably better than the Air. The other thing about the Air is that it's also a lot cheaper. I think it starts at like $899, whereas this starts at $1,299, and that's because of the internals. And then you've got the MacBook Pro, which is your standard, basically portable desktop, which is what Mark has. So it's going to run stuff super fast. It's going to have a large capacity hard drive, though, again, solid state drive is coming up in that world.
So for Doreena's use, her heaviest use is probably making the PowerPoint.
Yeah. So, you could go with probably either the Air or the Air or just the straight up MacBook. At this point, I would go the new MacBook, barring any flaws that people discover when it comes out.
Somebody take it.
Yeah, I would.
I'm glad to talk to the company. I have to have backup for my
Yeah.
I need to be.
So yeah, and I would do the same thing. Probably most of you, if not all of you, are not going to get the Apple Watch, but I'm going to wait for at least a month to find out what people say about it, if it really lives up to expectations, does it easily break? Another thing that I'll look at and see what they say about it is battery life.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
That was a huge.
One of those, set it on a thing.
It has, so it's this little it's circular and it's about that thick and it's magnetic. So it literally just suctions itself to the bottom of the phone or the bottom of the watch. And
So you have to take the watch off to charge it.
yeah. But they basically say, go to bed at night, plug it in.
Waterproof, and they said, yeah.
I think the sport model is. So there's the base model.
That's extra.
Well, yeah, they get you. And the other thing that they probably explained here, but we didn't know, is there's 2 sizes, because they say, a watch, so basically they've got a 38 and a 42, I think, size watch. We don't know, we do now, but we didn't know if those were different prices also. So, there could be a huge array of price points depending on size, the band, the edition that you get, and all that stuff. So, I'm sure it'll all be right here.
Thanks, guys.
Okay. See ya.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for everyone joining us online also, and we'll see you next time.